The DOJ just wrapped its first press conference on what happened with the new Trump assassination. All we have so far is that the assassin is a Californian, a libtard, somebody who had Reddit brain rot, somebody who was trying to kill as many members of the administration as possible and nearly succeeded because of security failures. Here's the video of that security failure. This is the Secret Service effectively getting bum rushed by the shooter, and the shooter sprinting through, carrying a shotgun, the security checkpoint, and then the agents opening fire. And here's something that I think confused a lot of people, which is, now, did the Secret Service get fired upon, or was it a case of friendly fire, the shooting of one of the Secret Service agents? And this is something that we tried to figure out this morning. You can see here, notice right here. So this agent pulls out their weapon as the individual is running through, and then one of these agents dropped to the ground as though they had been shot, right? See that? And then this agent has to be dragged out. I don't know why you have to have security footage here. Like, why is it that my Ring camera footage could be played in an IMAX, and the security camera footage inside of one of the most prestigious and important events in the country looks like it's filmed through a potato from a Nokia 7 while somebody's playing Snake? I don't get it. I hate it. I want some clarity. I want some answers. Here's what we know from today: that the attempted assassin is being charged with the potential murder of the President of the United States. That's what he's being charged for. This would be life in prison. Transport of a firearm across state line, that's 10 years in prison. And a discharge of a firearm during a violent crime, that's 10-year mandatory minimum. So you don't get out of that, and you ain't going to get out of prison probably ever, quite frankly, with all these charges stacked up. So the other thing that's popping around is, like, did he do this by himself? Is he doing it by himself? Federal investigators are looking into possible connections between would-be Trump assassin Cole Thomas Allen and Stacey Abrams' Fair Fight Action, as well as Black Lives Matter. Ooh, okay. Stacey Abrams, somebody who is a radical left-wing activist. Is this true? Todd Blanche answered at the press conference today an emphatic yes when asked if the DOJ is investigating the far left.
Thank you. Are you investigating connections that Cole Allen allegedly had to left-wing groups? I think one is called the Wide Awakes, reportedly.
Yes. Of course we're investigating that. Now you.
Are you aware of his video game development past, including a potential shooter-style RPG game?
I've seen the news reports that talk about that. I think that the positive and negatives of this type of case is that there's a lot of people investigating this man right now, including the FBI. But the only investigations that truly matter in the court of law are the ones that Director Patel and his men and women are doing. So we'll wait for them to do that and get an answer.
The thing that I find most interesting about the news conference was the new information that we got, that the Secret Service officer was shot in a ballistic vest, that 5 shots were fired at Cole Allen, who did not get shot at all, but he fell to the ground. We know now that he had a scraped knee. You can see here he had 1, 2, 3, 4 different knives on him. So these are the weapons that were used, and this is the timeline that they were used in.
That's when Cole Allen first made a hotel reservation at the Washington Hilton for 3 nights, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. It was on April 21st that he traveled all the way from the West Coast, from his home near L.A. He gets to Chicago on April 23rd, and has been indicated he arrives in D.C. on the 24th, and he checks into the hotel at about 3 p.m. He stays overnight. He is very much aware that the president and the first lady entered the ballroom at 8 p.m. And it was at 8:40 that he made a decision to rush the ballroom. And thank goodness, law enforcement, the Secret Service, was able to prevent him from getting into that ballroom. He was not injured other than some kind of scrape on his knee.
So he was stopped by the Secret Service, but he wasn't shot by the Secret Service. He got a scrape on the knee Did the Secret Service actually catch him discharging his weapon?
Just a little technical question. You mentioned that you guys, so far, you think that Allen fired at least one shot. That doesn't say that in the affidavit yet, so I'm just curious if you can explain the discharging of weapon charge at this point.
Well, he's charged with violating 924C, discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. So by definition, that charge means that it was discharged. I can tell you from what I know, with the understanding that we're a day and a half in, that this is the gun that he discharged. And as those of us that have ever shot one of these know, what happens when you shoot that is the casing stays inside the firearm, and then if you reload it, it pops it out. My understanding is that it was inside the firearm, but hadn't been ejected, which means that it hadn't been pulled back again. But again, I want folks to understand, I'm the acting attorney general. I'm not on the ground doing the investigation, so I'm telling you what I've been told, and we'll, if that information changes, I'm sure that we'll let you know. Yeah.
So that's been the big conversation online, which is who fired what and who struck whom. Did the Secret Service shoot at and harm another Secret Service agent? Is it a friendly fire situation in a very tough situation where you have a man running through this barricade? Obviously, this hotel should have been shut down entirely. They should have had all of the barricades up at the, out on the street level. Nobody should have been allowed into or onto the property without a proper security check. The gunman, we know, traveled across the country using Amtrak, booked his reservation for 3 nights, traveled from Los Angeles to Chicago, took a train from Chicago to D.C. You can take a train because they don't check the bags on these trains, and he had firearms in his bags the whole time. Injured Secret Service officer has been released from the hospital. My read from the presser is that the charges were filed. They have some questions about whether it was Cole Allen who shot and hit the Secret Service agent, and ballistics should be able to figure that out quickly. So that's going to be a major question, which is, is this a friendly fire incident? And I'm not sure. It's going to be pretty embarrassing for the Secret Service if it is. That's what a lot of people suspect, including some former FBI agents that were on our show this morning. The other big question, was he working with or connected with far left-wing radical groups? It's a major question in Charlie Kirk's murder and assassination. This is a major question here. Of course, it's a major question for the Butler shooting. We haven't gotten any answers on the Butler shooting. We get answers here. We hope so. BLM, far left-wing groups, let us know and charge them as terrorist groups. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.